All right, we have our squad, 18 people going to Australia to Perth for the first test starting in a couple of weeks. Welcome once again to the Yaar podcast. I'm your host, Usman Khalid. Zan and Ramiz are here today. Haris is not here. He's celebrating Thanksgiving in America. He's a very big American, so he's going to be away for about 4 days here. But yeah, how are you guys doing, man?
Doing good.
We're both on mute.
Doing good. Yeah. Now that
Doing
the
good?
World Cup's over, I had a big party. Just I'm a huge Australian fan, so I really wanted to celebrate their win. Yeah, now we look on to and now I'm not an Australian fan anymore because Pakistan's going there for a test series. So,
Yeah,
loyalties
yeah,
change a lot, but I'm here.
yeah.
Yeah, no, very excited for the upcoming series. And hopefully India loses this game too. They need two of two. Exciting times.
India. So yeah, that game is going on right now. I was just checking. India is playing the T20 right now, right? Let's see what happened. Oh, they won. India. Oh, they need one run
Oh,
in
it
one
is.
ball right now. It's happening.
My stream is
Dude, there's
Should we
dying.
do a
three
live
wickets,
commentary on
three
this?
wickets, two actual wickets in a run out. Oh my gosh, dude, this is crazy. Should we
Dude,
do
they lost 3 wickets in 3 balls. That's
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, we gotta wait. We gotta wait until cricket for updates here because I want to see what happens in the last ball. So let's wait for that. In the meantime, we can maybe talk about how this game went from the beginning. I guess Josh Inglis today, 100 from like 50 balls or whatever it was.
We
Great
could
innings.
talk about it, but I mean, I'm sure even Australians don't give a shit about this game, and neither do Indians.
Yeah.
Especially they
Indians
don't.
probably care about this game to try to find some sort of consolation prize out of all this. But just
Yeah, it was
this game
a
is
good
treated like
a
the
good
way
crowd today. Not as silent as the one in Ahmedabad.
this game is treated like the way that Pat Cummins was treated at the airport. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, that video was making the rounds, right? There were like maybe 4 people there, and he like was waving at a couple of people. If that, like imagine that was like Pakistan or India going back home. Even I saw a tweet from somebody, and they were like, any random Indian kid coming home from abroad back home after university would be greeted with more people at the airport. Oh, they're going to a super over, dude. No way. But anyways, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I thought you guys were frozen for a second.
No, man, we're just so
But yeah,
infatuated
okay.
about
Forget
this
this game. This game is gonna go on for another maybe 15, 20 minutes because they're going to a super over. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, Pakistan squad is announced. What do you guys think? Should I run through the squad real quick?
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let me read the 18 people that are going to Australia. Shan Masood, Amir Jamal, Abdullah
Sorry,
Shafiq,
I just want to cut
Abrar
you off.
Ahmed.
I'm sorry. You said super over? No, the dude just hit a 6 off the last ball. Game over. India won.
Oh, they won.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
It was just someone commenting super over.
Oh, it was
Actual
okay. Yeah, I was
super
reading
over.
commentary. Yeah, somebody was saying it might go to super over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
sorry.
India won,
Start again.
but doesn't matter.
My apologies. I just had to kind of correct you.
No worries. But yeah, India is they're not gonna win when it matters. So who cares? Shan Masood, Amir Jamal, Abdullah Shafiq, Abrar Ahmed, Babar Azam, Fahim Ashraf, Hassan Ali, Imam Ulaq, Khurram Shehzad, Mir Hamza, Mohammad Rizwan, Mohammad Wasim, Noman Ali, Saim Ayub, Salman Ali Agha, Sarfraz Ahmed, Saud Shakil, and Shaheen Afridi. So that's 18 people. Maiden call-ups for, I should mention, Saud Shakil and Khurram Shehzad, Fahim Ashraf, and who else is getting
What do you mean?
recalled
Sorry,
here?
what do you
Fahim
mean?
Ashraf.
Maiden call ups for Saud Shakil.
Mir Hamza.
Maiden call-ups means they're in the test squad for the first time.
No, Saud Shakil just played the last game, didn't he? In Sri Lanka, he played
Dude,
those.
I'm talking about Saim Ayub. Did I say Saud Shakil?
Yeah,
I
you
meant
said
Saim
Saud.
Ayub and
Okay,
Khurram
okay.
Shehzad.
Yeah, you said.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I just said the wrong name. Yeah, Saim Ayub and Khurram Shehzad. Maiden call-ups: Fahim Ashraf, Mir Hamza, and Mohammad Wasim Jr. make their returns to the test squad, and the rest are people from the last test series. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Initial thoughts? What do you guys think, man?
It's a good squad. As expected, most of the players were expected. Saim Ayub is a little bit of a surprise, but we did discuss about him that if he comes in, should just be around the squad. We have two openers, and I think he's going to be a backup. I think Sean Masood plays one down in Test cricket, so yeah, I think he
Yeah.
might get a shot. Considering you guys are not fans of him, Amalak, if he doesn't perform, he's going to get dropped, and Saim will probably come in.
Yeah.
Other than that, a
So
good
yeah,
call up for
we
the.
did talk about that, right? But my thought process on that was always that if you are going to take him, he has to play because he could be playing the National T20 Cup right now. If you're going to take him, I don't think he'd make sense to sit him. If you have made the commitment to take him for this tour, 3 tests, play him. At least give him one game in the beginning. Or give I think he gets elite. If he doesn't play a single game, I'm going to be very upset because this is what Pakistan does often, right? People get picked up on squads and they just kind of sit there and they come back and then they just never get picked again, depending on the
Imam ul
player.
Haq has a beautiful chance in his hands to shut everybody up, including me and Usman, because that's very important to him. Uh, if he can perform here, he's played one test in Australia, and he scored 2 runs in 2 innings. I don't know if he was 2 or 1 and 1 or 0 and 2. Like I don't know the details.
So Ramiz, we were bringing up Shan Masood stats, right?
Yeah,
And you were saying
so
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has
Imam
two
ul
innings
Haq,
and two ducks.
for somebody that
Two innings, two ducks.
cannot play, you know, bounce from the sounds of it, because I mean that's technically what it is. I don't know, man. I think taking him is like a death sentence for him. Yeah, please.
You mentioned he can't play bounce, and I was watching PCB's training. I should have mentioned this at the top. PCB's training camp started today in Lahore for their test series. So
Is
there, a
Bobber
lot of
there?
clips are coming out from that. Babar is there. Everybody's there. We got to see Mohammad Hafiz in some of those clips as a coach. He's doing some drills for fielding and slips and shit like that. But on Imam ul Haq, Kale Shale on Twitter. I don't know if you guys know this Twitter account, but they posted a video on Twitter of Imam ul Haq batting in the nets today at the training camp, and he's just somebody's just doing throwdowns at him from like the slinger arm, and they're all length balls, outside off stump. He's just leaving them, playing some of them, and I was like, this guy should be playing 100 short balls in the nets right now.
And you
He's
should
he
be.
if he's going to play at Perth in that first test, that's the bounciest pitch in the world. I don't want to see him leaving balls outside off stump right now because everybody knows what they're going to do to him, what they're going to try to do to him. Everybody knows what his weakness is. I want to see him playing short balls. Just
You should
play
be
a million
like.
balls before.
You should be trying to hurt him. Like I mean, like you
Yeah,
should be coming
and
after
maybe that
him.
makes it an easy decision, right?
Yeah.
If he gets hurt, then you don't have to play him.
Simon You've just standing on the side. Hey man, listen, you should probably try to play the short ball a little bit stronger. No man, they should literally be trying to like come after him just like the Australians are. You think they don't know? Like that's the first thing they're gonna be like, okay,
Everybody knows,
top of the
dude.
order, like
And see,
we'll
this is
take
what I
care of this
mean,
guy
right? Like
easy. And especially with Josh
training and like
Hazelwood,
planning for.
Josh
Yeah.
Hazelwood is gonna take him out for sure if he can't fix what he's trying to fix, you know?
Yeah, I just, this is one of those things, we often talk about preparation and not having enough awareness to, we talk about in-game awareness, but this is one of those things that you got to have awareness that, hey, this is something I need to work on. This is something I've struggled with my entire career. I'm going to Australia, the bounciest pitches in the world, the fastest pitches in the world. I should be working on this before I go. And that's just like, why wouldn't you? And maybe, maybe we're overreacting a little bit because that clip was like maybe a minute long, 2 minutes long. Maybe he did do that afterwards or before that. But if you, if that video is making the rounds, I'm guessing what,
That was his
um,
best. That
that's
was
what
like the
the
best 2 minutes
that
of his
yeah,
whole segment.
exactly. That
Why would you? Why
that's
else
what
would
they
you make a
wanted out
video?
there,
Why
right?
else would you make a video?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
I
yeah.
agree. I think Imam really needs to work on the short ball. We saw in the World Cup his weakness was that, and like you guys said, Australian pitches are typically very bouncy, so something to think about for him. Um, yeah, hopefully he does well, and yeah, that's it.
Let me ask you guys a question. So like Saim Ayub, I know you guys are saying um I know you guys are saying that he if you're taking him, play him. I agree to an extent, but I again like I just don't. So like let's talk about what brought him here, right? Let's talk about what brought him into a test squad that is going to Australia, right? They're not coming to. I was about to say they're not coming to Calgary. They're not coming to Pakistan, right? They're going to Australia. So it's like the only things that I can recall is CPL, fantastic CPL, fantastic Qaid Azam trophy. That was Qaid Azam trophy, right? That they just yeah, fantastic. He did really well, but he's a young guy. He has no experience playing like in like different parts of the world, and then you're picking somebody off of these flat pitches in the Qaid Azam trophy. You can also kind of say the same about Sean Masood, where he had a great Qaid Azam trophy, but he was playing county cricket as well. Saim Ayub hasn't even played any county cricket. I mean,
Yeah, but
you
if
know,
you started doing that, if you did just discount QEA, then you really don't have anything that you can pick
well, I'm
from
not
domestic,
saying
because that's what
discount it,
our pitches are what they are, right?
but
Like you can't really.
off one good season, that's not how it's supposed to be, right? Like the
I
players that
agree.
come up that you actually have faith in, you're like, 2022 they had this much, 2021 it was like this. Now finally they break into the test squad. Like that's how it should be, right? And maybe it's because, we have a lack of openers right now, or a lack of talent at the top. But I feel like, they could there is a lot more that they can do without playing. Like I don't think taking Imam ul Haq is a good idea, and I don't think taking Saim Ayub is a good idea.
So who do
So
you
So
take as openers?
Imam does have a good record against Australia, except not in
it's at
Australia.
home. And what were those
Um,
pitches? Those are
yeah,
roads. I remember he
Rawalpindi,
scored. Like
Rawalpindi,
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
Reeds.
exact the same pitches where Sean Masood scored
So
centuries.
exactly that's what
So
I'm saying, right? So
exactly,
you
that's what
can't
I'm
shit
also
on Sean
saying.
Masood and then say he has a good record
But
against
but
Australia.
Imam isn't captain.
Oh,
Imam
he
is
does
but
have a
but
good
Imam
record. It's
isn't
on roads, but he
captain,
does
right?
have
You're not
it.
gonna you're not gonna sit the
Yeah.
captain out because it's like, oh, you don't have a very good record playing in Australia. Like
Yeah, I
that's
mean
not how it is.
that's a moot. I'm just saying that like Ramiz,
So
you can't change the goalpost for
I'm
one
not
person,
changing the
right?
goalposts. I'm not
No,
changing the
man. I
goalposts.
I
I'm not.
don't think
I
somebody's
never
doing
brought
that.
up the stats.
I think that you're
I'm
you're
not
trying to
doing.
fight apples. You're trying to fight apples against oranges when that's not the case here.
uh,
Imam is
yeah, but that one, sorry, the one game that Imam played in Australia was back in 2019. So that was
a
a
long time
long
ago.
time ago, right? Hopefully, but I don't think things have changed. He's still bad at the
Exactly.
short balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to do a lot, and the same as Sean Masood, I'm not expecting a lot from him either.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully he can do something with his captaincy. Imam doesn't have that option. He only has the batting to worry about. Hopefully he proves us all wrong and does well. But going back to Saim's conversation, I agree with Zain. We discussed this. He shouldn't even be picked right now. And I remember saying that even if we do pick him, I don't think we should play him until we absolutely need him. So if like Imam or Abdullah Shafiq are playing really, really bad, then yeah, bring on Saim, give him a shot out. But if they're doing decent, I don't think Saim should be playing right now. Just the experience of the environment there would be really nice for him playing in
And
the nets.
play
Even
him
the
in the
nets are
President's
bouncy pitches
11.
there.
Play him
So
against the President's 11. Maybe
yeah,
do that.
yeah,
If I
yeah.
mean, it's again, Imam needs the if I had to choose between Saim Ayub and Imam, I would maybe go with Saim Ayub because at least with him, it's like he might take a chance. Let's kind of take a chance on that. Imam, his his technical difficulties are so strong to me that there's no way in hell that he'll be able to get past the first like five
No,
overs.
actually, I think that's a bit unfair to Imam. I think he is technically very proficient. Like and on flat pitches, yes, he's very technically proficient. Short bowling, that is his weakness. He has, he does have a bit of a weakness outside off stump too, a little bit. But like he Simon Ayub, I think you have to play him. I disagree that you take him there and he doesn't play. Even if he plays a tour, I think he has to play at least one test. Give him exposure, even if he fails, persist with him, and then reassess from there. Like we've seen, but this also scares me in the sense that we talked about Heather Ali. We don't want this guy turning into Heather Ali, and that's kind of what we did to him, right? We brought him in too early, and that was
And
it.
that's
But
what
I
Pakistan
think if
does.
you're going to take him, give him exposure, and with the intent of persisting with him in the next few tours. If that's the intent, go for it. But that we don't know that they're going to do that, right? So But I'm of the opinion that if you're going to take him, play him. I would play him all three matches, honestly. Play him, even if he fails, keep playing him.
This is the same
All
mentality.
three
This is
over
hold
who?
on. This is the same
Imam. I play him for
mentality.
all. I play him in all
Oh,
three
wow.
over Imam.
This
Or if Abdullah starts failing, I the point I'm making is if you made the bold call now to and to Zen's point, coming of the back of a good QEA, I think this guy was like fourth or fifth in most amount of runs in QEA. If that's the criteria and you've decided, hey, this guy is good enough to be at this level, then you have to play him. What else are you gonna do? You're gonna just take him and
I,
sit him?
I,
this is the
I don't
exact
think that's a
same.
bold move.
No,
Sorry.
I just want to say this is the exact same like thought process that took Muhammad Hasnan, Muhammad Musa, Naseem Shah, and Shane Shah Afridi to Australia. I don't think it was 2019. I think it was prior to that. It was like 2017 or something like that.
Yeah,
When
but bowlers are also different, right? You like for fast bowlers are
but
way different than
I
and we're
understand
talking about
that
injuries here. We're not talking about being dropped because of bad performances and things like
there
that.
could have been
This
some
is like
other players they could have taken then too, even just with the openers as well, right? Like there had to have been somebody else. They could have. Ahmed Shahzad had a great QEA, right? He's had exposure playing in different like on different pitches, different places. Like you know what the difference between Babar Azam and all these other failed early startups are, is that he went through the ranks under 13, under 15, under 17, under 19, A team, Shaheens, all of that before he was brought into the Pakistan team. He is the only player that I have heard of from Pakistan that actually went through everything like how Australians go through it, how the English go through it. This is why I'm so worried about Saim Ayub because Haider Ali, Umar Akmal,
so then
Ahmed
why take
Yeah,
him
Shahzad,
and
if
like
you guys look, if he's not
that's a
ready
million
and you
dollar
so
guys are
much
saying
for
question. That's a
experience.
million dollar question. Why take him?
that's what
No,
I'm saying. Look,
you take him
all
for
I'm saying is
experience.
I am all for dropping. If Simon wasn't in the squad, I'm 100% happy. I have no problem with that. I'm just
I
saying
feel
if you
you.
have decided to take him, if you're so high on this guy, don't take him and just sit him. He could be playing the National T20 Cup. He could be doing other things, training and shit like that. Ramiz, your point about like getting exposure to the pitches. I don't like in the nets that to me is not worth like 3-4 weeks of a guy's time. He could be playing other shit
Of
and
course it is.
improving his craft.
Of course it is. It's more than so. What the experience he's going to gain from just being there is going to be a lot more valuable to him than just being playing national T20 against garbage bowlers, right? On top of
I
that, I don't
disagree
agree.
wholeheartedly. There's a T20 World Cup
I know
coming up.
for sure,
You have to think about other things too, right? Like there's a T20 World
of
Cup coming
course.
up. If you have to play this guy, or if you're gonna play this guy in that tournament, you have to prepare him for that too. It's not just about Test cricket.
Yeah, we're
That
going to prepare him in the 10 T20s we're playing against England and New Zealand, and then we have the PSL. So T20 wise, we have a
sure.
lot of cricket coming up, right?
I just
On
yeah.
top
I
of
mean,
that,
if
on
we're
top of that,
comparing like playing in the nets in Australia versus game action, I know the competition is not the same. T20 Cup, domestic in Pakistan, but that's still game. You're playing an actual game. You're not. And how much nets is he gonna do there, right? Like, yeah, we can disagree on that. That's fine, but that's just my
but
opinion.
yeah,
I think
I was also going to say that I don't think it's a bold decision to bring in Saim Ayub instead of Imam. I think that's a foolish decision in my opinion because when a 21-year-old comes in and he's replacing a 27-year-old guy who hasn't put a foot wrong, by the way, in Test cricket so far, you're telling him that you know what you're huge, okay, and his ego and his confidence is gonna turn into overconfidence, and his ego is gonna be off the roof. He's gonna be like, मैंने तो इमाम को भी replace कर लिया, अब क्या बचा है मेरे लिए, right? It I don't think for a young
नहीं
player
इमाम
it's
को
a
इतनी
good
बड़ी
move.
चीज नहीं है कि उसको रिप्लेस करने में वो अपने आप
Imam
को he's gonna think I'm a
Imam
king.
is a pretty big deal. Imam is a pretty big deal right now, man.
Imam is
Like
a
I know we're
mainstay,
hating on
right?
him for the
He's
recent,
a like on any
yeah.
team sheet,
You're
right? Like we're talking strictly Australia. On any team sheet, you're gonna be like a mom, right? You're not gonna be like, okay, should I play him? Should I not? No, you're gonna play him. He's a
Yeah, I mean,
mainstay.
no, we're just being kind of funny about it, but I do like Imam. I think he's a good opener. You know, I'm just saying that if you and you, I know you guys both disagree. I'm just gonna reiterate that if you're taking him, play him. That what don't like. I don't like this idea of taking somebody and just like sitting them for the entire tour. They've done that with other
that's
bowlers
the
in the past.
that's the thing with bigger squads, right? Like not everyone's gonna get to play.
Yeah, and I guess that's just the way it is. But If your intent is to give a guy some exposure, then give him exposure. Don't just and you're talking about confidence. What is that going to do to his confidence too? He's going to go, he's going to sit, and he's going to come back. Well, how that can't be good for his confidence either.
No, I'm sure he's been spoken to about his
Yeah,
role in
this
the
is
team, in the
PCB we're
squad,
talking
right?
about, right?
Yeah, but
um
Shan Masood is all that educated, padha likha guy, right? I'm sure he's spoken to Saim Ayub because he's the captain, right? If the selector's not doing it, the captain can do that, right? And Hafiz, as much as I didn't like him as a player, he does have when he talks, he does make some good points. So even if Wahab Riaz hasn't spoken to him, at least Hafiz or Shan Masood should have a talk with him and clear his role with him, what he's gonna be doing in Australia. That being said, I feel like if Abdullah and Imam do well throughout the series, then Saim definitely won't get a shot. But yeah, I just feel like just being there is going to be a great experience for him.
yeah, I mean, well, we can argue about this all day long, but I think they're going to play Imam and Abdullah as openers. I won't
Yeah.
like it, but that's the way it's going to be. And maybe they'll give him a game if they shit the bed completely, one of them. But we'll see. Next thing, so I wanted to ask you guys. Let's move on from this. We've been talking about openers for quite some time. I want to ask you. I think the next big thing for me is who's going to be the keeper. Sarfraz, as we know, had a great domestic season. He had the second most amount of runs. I was looking at the stats, and this guy has the highest average in QEA. Has He's averaging 99, and yeah, just
Bradman in the house.
scored heaps of runs. He's actually, he in terms of amount of runs, he's second, but because he has more not outs, he has a double 200 not out, somewhere there. Strike rate of 74 in 4 day in first class cricket is really good. So yeah, he's had a really good season. I think they're gonna play him again. I would have played Rizwan. I don't know what you guys think, but
Would you
I
play
think in
both?
Australia it's a completely different. Yeah, that's another option. I'm not opposed to that, I guess. But
You
I
play
just,
both, yeah.
Australia is the one place where if this was anywhere else in the world, anywhere in the subcontinent, anywhere else, I would have played Surprise, I think. But Australia, I think, really exposes Surprise's game. And he can play short bowling well. His stance too, right? Like he gets really low just before he is kind of his trigger movement, and that doesn't really work well in those conditions. So I will play Rizwan, although Rizwan has his own problems in those conditions too. But just based on that, I would play Rizwan, but I think they're going to play Sarfraz, based on that's just the feeling I get. I think based on recent form, obviously Rizwan wasn't playing QEA, while Sarfraz was, so he doesn't really have numbers to prove anything, aside from his past test performances. But yeah, what do you guys think? Who would you play?
I I would play Sarfaraz. Even the last series he played well, and he's playing Qaid Azam Trophy. Like Haris mentioned in the WhatsApp group, it's Wasim Jr.'s fault that he wasn't playing domestic cricket. So I think Sarfraz, he hasn't made a mistake since his comeback. So I think I would give him a chance. Although his keeping was pretty poor in the last series, so that's something to look at.
In
That is
Australia, that's
something
a
that the
big
captain will
deal, man. The
have to.
keeping piece because of the way the
Yeah,
ball
yeah,
moves, and
definitely.
so
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah, and I didn't even mention that. I was just purely talking on batting, and I think you're right. That is a big thing for me, and that is another reason I would play Rizwan over Sarfraz right now.
so they both can. So if you make Shani open with Abdullah Shafiq, then both of them can come in.
I think
Yeah.
Sean's gonna play number three though, because that's why they have three openers, right? Other than Sean. I feel like Sean's going to be number three, Babur's going to be number four, and then Saud Shakil will probably be number five if he
Aga
plays.
Salman.
Yeah.
Why? Who
Um,
would replace him if he doesn't
Yeah.
play?
if he doesn't play, then it'll have to be the two keepers. If Saud is playing, I don't think we can play two keepers.
Right, right. And then
All right. So while we're doing that, why don't we do like starting 11s? You guys want to do that
sure,
for the first test in Perth?
Yeah.
like all
I have
together,
mine
or you want to do it?
while we were
Okay,
discussing some Saim Ayub there. I did write kind of my I drafted it down. I don't know if you guys have it ready or if you guys want to, uh, or maybe we can do like we
We can
can
do it on the fly.
collectively come up with
I just had to pull up
starting
the.
That
11.
sounds tough, man. That sounds tough. You're gonna pick Simon on the top.
Yeah, yeah, and that's right. But I think we're not agreeing on a couple of things, right? So maybe, yeah, let's do separate ones. I'll go first because I already have mine, and then maybe you guys wanna write down yours in the meantime or something like that. So here's the correct team. Anything you guys say is wrong. Uh, um, Saim Ayub and Abdullah Shafiq for openers. I have Shan Masood at three, Babar Azam at four, Saud Shakil, Muhammad Rizwan. I'm playing Fahim Ashraf at seven, and one of Amir Jamal and Khurram Shahzad at eight. Um, that's a toss up for me. I've been kind of watching videos of both of them in domestic and stuff like that, and PSL. Um, I think they both have relatively the same pace. But I think I would go with Amir Jamal at least for the first one. I think he kind of hits the wicket a little bit harder. Um, so yeah, one of those two: Shaheen Shah Afridi, Mir Hamza, and Abrar Ahmed. Uh, I joked about Noman Ali, but I don't think he makes it in this starting 11 right now. Just because you have the X factor of Abrar Ahmed right now. But yeah, give me your criticism because you're gonna be wrong anyways. But you're on mute, Ramiz. You're both on mute.
Sorry, I was saying, who are your openers again?
Saim Ayub and Abdullah Shafiq.
Give me your last five
Interesting.
again. So Fahim Ashraf.
Fahim Ashraf, Amir
I've
Jamal, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Mir Hamza, and Abrar Ahmed.
So you won't play Hassan Ali.
Almost put Hassan Ali in. I actually had him in there, then I removed him.
And you won't play one with Wasim
so for
either.
um,
Has
no, I didn't go
so
with
for
Mohammad
Hassan
Wasim.
Ali, I think Hassan Ali and Fahim are very similar bowlers in terms of pace, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
We
think
need more
Fahim Ashraf
pace
has
there.
provides a lot of control with the ball,
He, yeah,
and I
Yeah,
it came for me. It came down to his control with the ball, and also that he can bat more than Hassan Ali.
Hassan Ali
So
takes wickets at the
he
can
gives
expense
you
of
that,
can
runs,
he
though.
really?
Fahim Ashraf is
dude. He's
very.
better than Hassan Ali. He's tech. Come on, Ramiz.
Uh,
Don't put him in the
no,
same bucket
no,
and
I'm
back in
just
batting.
no, just playing devil's advocate. He's done decent in Test cricket for sure. Fahim Ashraf.
Yeah, he has good numbers in Test cricket.
Fahim Ashraf
Yeah.
contains runs. Hassan Ali takes wickets, but he leaks a lot. Like he gives away a lot of runs even in Test cricket.
Yeah, Hassan Ali, like man, he again. I'm not ball control. Hassan Ali is just he's not consistent enough for Test cricket, particularly on these pitches. I think he's gonna spray a lot, and that's where you need to contain runs and put pressure. Because if you don't, then these Australian batsmen just run away and just. I don't want Warner getting 100 before lunch on day one. Um, so yeah, that's my thinking behind that. Who wants to go next? Ramiz, you want to go next? You have you ready?
Yeah, I have it. My openers are Imam and Abdullah Shafiq, and then number three is Sean. Number four is Babar. Number five is Saud. I think that's going to be the same. Top five are going to be the same for all three of us.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
except Saim. And then I have Sir Faraz in there, and then I have Fahim Ashraf, and then I have Shaheen Abrar, and I haven't seen much of Amir Jamal or Khurram Shahzad and Mir Hamza, so I'll just pick the same ones you picked: Amir Jamal and Mir Hamza.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention, Kashif Ali is another really good domestic performer who has a bit more pace, I think, than both of these guys. I saw a video of him bowling at the training camp today, and he was bowling heat to Abdullah Shafiq and one other guy. I don't remember. It was a left-hander or maybe a right-hander. I don't. But he was bowling like he got two edges in that clip that I saw. He playing and missing a lot, but that's just training camp or whatever it is. But it looked like he had a bit more pace. I saw clips of all these guys today, and he looked like he had a bit more pace. But he's not in the squad, so I'm just that doesn't really matter. But he was in another. I think he has Kashif Ali is actually the highest wicket taker. If I'm not wrong, let me just quickly double check that.
While we do
Sorry,
that,
no, he's
Zain, do you
not.
have your
He's not.
lineup ready?
He's number four. He's number four in wickets. But anyway, I just wanted to mention he was bowling in the nets today to the squad. Zan, go ahead.
Do either of these guys, Amr Jamal or Khurram Shahzad, have any Test experience? No, right? Like they'll be on debut if they play.
Khurram
Khurram
Shahzad
Shahzad's debut.
is yeah. I mean, Abhijit hasn't played Test cricket either. I don't think.
Okay. Phew. I don't think they're gonna get picked.
No, they're both on debuts. They're both on
Okay.
debuts.
Yeah, so mine same as my top five is the same as Ramiz, Imam, Abdullah, Sean, Babur, South
But aren't you
Center.
guys okay? Well, putting all sorry before you go on, but putting all the stuff about Saim Ayub aside, aren't you guys excited to see what he can do? Maybe he's an exciting player,
If
man.
it was
Aren't you
in
guys like? Don't you want to see him
Pakistan,
at
I'd be
least for
so
one
excited.
game and see what he can do? Like even if he fails, we're gonna lose anyways, man. I just want to see what this guy
If we
can
win
do.
the first
Just play
test,
him
then I
one
don't
game.
give a shit what they do for the second one.
If they don't win the first test,
If they win the first test, then I don't care what they do for the
if
rest
they
of
win the first test, just stop watching the rest.
you win the
Just
first-
celebrate that win,
it. Sorry?
right?
No, I think if we win the first one, we have to like actually think about it more because we have a chance of winning the series at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Just try to draw the next 2 games or win one of the next
Yeah,
two.
no,
so we can
Masood is
win
going
the
to
series.
go down
If
as
you
the
win the
greatest
first test, then you got to think
captain.
about like how can you win this series somehow, right? Like Rameez is saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Saim Ayub, okay,
exactly.
like yeah, I'm excited, but at what cost, dude? Like that's the thing, right? Like at
नहीं,
what
एक game
cost?
खेलने से क्या cost हो जाएगी? What is the cost of playing him one game? What is happening to him after playing
Yo,
like
listen,
what do you
he'll play the third test, okay? Because either that at that point we've won,
sure even
or
that like
we've like messed it all up. So yeah,
just give him something,
if I'm
right?
at the
Like
third test, I'll let him play. Unless it's 1-1, then hell no.
या
But
नहीं
the
या तो
truth
ना
is
कि
also,
बहुत ही
okay,
जो
okay,
है
okay,
even
मतलब
if it's
okay,
even if it's
openers failing, that doesn't mean that we're gonna lose or win, right? So if it,
Yeah.
I understand, but game one we have to go in with our strongest 11, and right now our strongest 11 is Imam. It's not Saim Ayub. That guy's never even played like a T20 or anything.
I wanted to say something but I won't. I'm like
Say it. Say it. This is
No,
the
no,
whole point of this.
I was gonna say Imam's like, come on, man, Imam. Obviously,
Imam has the
Saim Ayub
horse,
doesn't
bro.
really have.
Imam
Okay.
has the
Huh?
horse.
Imam is also about to get married, so he's got other shit to worry about.
Dude,
Just
he's
give him
gonna
some
try-
rest.
I'm just
and-
gonna-
Marriage ruins
I'm just
these
gonna
guys, man. Why do you
say-
think
I'm just
Babar's still single?
No, I'm just gonna say Saim Ayub got a few international games in a different format against
Shit the
Afghanistan,
bed.
and we saw
I
what he
agree.
did. Right?
I agree.
We got
Guys,
2 ducks in 3 games.
I
so
mostly
it's too
agree
soon
with
to
this
play.
thought process. I'm just saying that if you have picked him, give him a game. That's like just see what he
It's
can do.
wild that they picked him off PSL and CPL and that type of shit, right? Like, isn't that crazy?
I mean, the argument that
No,
they
he
would make,
did
I think, is
well.
that they picked him
Yeah.
from QEA performances too, right? You can't discount that. Like that's
and he
he
scored
did well there,
176 in List A too. Jazz
Yeah.
hands. Yeah, I mean, but anyways, let me
Jazz hands?
finish, man. You guys got your full 11. Let me have my full.
Sorry,
11.
yeah,
Yeah.
I want to talk more about Saim Ayub. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And then so Shaquille, and then Surfraz, Fahim, and then Shaheen, Abrar Ahmed, Hassan Ali. Am I at 9 or 10?
10.
And then whoever, Khurram, Shahzad, Mir Hamza, Amr, Jamal, Muhammad Wasim, they can pick whoever they want out of those because I don't really like Muhammad Wasim.
Well, they're gonna pick whoever they want anyway.
Yeah, Muhammad Wasim. I would.
Oh, wait, थोड़ी देर zen बताएगा
Well, they're
किस
not
team pick
listening to our
करेंगे हम लोग।
podcast, man.
Unless they
Hafiz is
are.
not listening to us. Trust me. Hafiz, if you're listening, your ethics are amazing.
Yeah. So that's my
all right. Yeah.
It's
So
tough
we-
when
we
like,
got
these
pretty
guys
much-
are half of them are on especially the bowlers, like technically half of them are on debut. Mir Hamza's not on debut,
Yeah.
but he hasn't played in Australia. He's played 4 tests and he's taken 2 wickets.
Mir Hamza, yeah, he has an average of like 90 or something. But again,
132.
like we say that about our batsmen, right? I think the same goes for our bowlers. Bichare, they're playing on like dead pitches in the test matches that Mir Hamza played. Come on, that's like throwing somebody like even Muhammad Ali. We talked about him. He played those test matches against England, right? And I think he was pretty bad anyways. But those pitches were like a graveyard for bowlers. But yeah, so who was your keeper again? Sorry, Sarfraz or Rizwan?
Surfraz.
But I do like playing both of them is actually not.
I
I don't
that.
want to play Sarfraz at
But
least
at
for the
the
first
expense
test,
of
anyways.
who?
But
At the expense of who?
I
'Cause
could.
you have to go with 4 pacers.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
You have to go with 4 pacers.
Yeah.
Yo, you know who
yeah.
they should have
So
put?
I don't. Yeah.
They should have put Iftikhar in the squad so we could have had an all-rounder spinning option and we wouldn't have to play Abrar Ahmed then.
यार तुम्हारा दिमाग सही है दिस guy ये कहता है हर चीज में बस इफ्तिखार को डाल दो कप्तान इफ्तिखार
Yo, man.
टेस्ट स्क्वाड इफ्तिखार प्राइम मिनिस्टर इफ्तिखार
Yeah, man, he has bigger fish to fry.
Mayor Iftikhar. Okay. Yeah, that's it, man. That's our squad for the first test. Perth is gonna, the bounciest, fastest pitch in the world, probably. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't have high hopes. This is a really weak looking squad, I think, compared to what Australia's gonna put out there. But here's hoping that we can at least make. I think Ramiz, your expectations were really spot on last time we talked about this, where you were like, any any losses without innings defeat, I think, are a win. I think that's how
Yeah.
low the bar should be, given our squad and given our team. And I think even a draw, I would celebrate like crazy. I think if you can bat first, maybe Boxing Day test MCG is usually a really flat batting track. If you can bat first in that game, and somehow put up like 400, 450, bat time, bat 2 days, I don't care. And two and a half, bat 3 days if you can. Why not? And just put the game out of reach, get a draw. That would be a great result. I don't know if you guys remember in the last tour, Azhar Ali scored that 200 at the MCG in that Boxing Day test, and we scored like 500 or something in that first innings. I don't know if anybody can pull up that game on Quick Info, but there was a point, and I remember this very vividly. There was a point in that game where Pakistan was batting in the first innings. It was like day two, end of day two, and Shane Warne was on commentary, and he said that there's no way Pakistan can lose this game now because they've batted so long, and we lost that game because they batted again. They batted faster. They scored at a good run rate, and then and then when we batted second, it was just a collapse, and it didn't end up happening. But yeah,
Yeah, so the first inning we were 443 for 9 declared, Azhar Ali with 205 and Asad Shafiq with 50, and then didn't end. Sohail Khan scored a 65.
nice. Sohail Khan.
Oh god. This team's hilarious, man. And we batted for 126 overs, and then Australia batted, scored 624 for 8 declared off 142 overs. So they played about 16 overs more than us and scored 200, about 180 runs more than us. And then we went out to bat all out for 163. Sohail Khan couldn't save us.
If he had scored another 70 runs, we would have been good. No, but that's what I mean, right? That was a game where like you thought you were kind of at least getting a draw in that game, and like you never know with Pakistan, you never know in these conditions what they're gonna
Innings
do.
defeat,
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah. But yeah, that's what we should hope for. That's what we should expect. A scoreline of 1-0 or something would be amazing. 1-0 for Australia. Get two draws out of it. And get these guys some, and that's another reason I think you can play a guy like Saim Ayub, because you're not expecting to win anything. You're not expecting to even get a draw. So just play him, see what he can do, give him some exposure, give him some confidence, and prop him up. Um, yeah. Again,
This is
um,
so this is like a newer, so they've like renovated the stadium, I think. I was looking for stats on this stadium. Sorry, you're gonna hear some clicking right now. I was looking for some stats on this stadium, and Australia they played 3 matches since they like renovated it from December from 2018. They played 3 test matches: India, New Zealand, and West Indies, and they won all of them by a sizable margin. 146 runs against India in 2018, 300 runs against New Zealand in 2019, and 150 runs against West Indies in last year at this time.
that's
So
just making me more sad.
yeah,
Uh,
so
yeah, I mean,
that's
that's it,
it. That's
man.
a scoop. Well,
Rana Fahim Ashraf is going to save us. He's going to score 100 with
inshallah.
the bat, and he's going to take a fifer in the first inning. Book it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
man.
Records are
Medium
meant
touch
to be
under.
broken,
He's
Ramiz.
going to get it at Perth.
Records are
And
meant to be
then
broken.
my boy Saim Ayub is going to get like 60 from 36 deliveries first innings at Perth.
He's gonna get
He's going to play it.
260 from like 90 balls, bro. That's what he's gonna do.
He's gonna play that behind no look shot to fine leg for six, which has been getting pretty popular on social media. He's got a bit of like cockiness to him. I like that. He's got some swagger. He's got some
So this
confidence.
is
I like
why
that.
Ramiz says, like, he's gonna think he's bigger than shit because he's going to be replacing
Oh
shit.
yeah,
He's going to
let
be
him think he's
replacing
bigger than
Imam
shit.
Haq, so he's
Look,
going to think
if
he's
he
bigger
scores a
than shit.
fucking 100 at in Australia, I think he deserves to feel like that.
Yeah, that's great. But I guess we can't all be bummered. He's not going to play the first test.
No, I would put him in the first test right from the get go. Put him in the first test.
That's funny.
No, I think that's the way it should be. You take a guy like that to on a tour, give him the first game. If he fails, then reassess. Or maybe, yeah, maybe what you're saying is correct.
Bro, why do we treat
Hmm?
Australia tours like trash? This is exactly why we screw it up every single time. Like with
What do
your,
you mean? What do you mean
thinking,
like
Usman,
trash?
it's like, oh, take him, play him. It's like, no, we're not gonna freaking play him.
नहीं क्या मतलब? What do you? I don't
This is
understand what
not
you're
an
trying to
experience.
say.
If this was a like a series in Pakistan, we'd be like best 11, need this, need that. Like can't play Saim Ayub because like he's not like experienced enough and blah blah blah. But when we're going to Australia, which is like literally winning a test series in Australia right now for us is bigger than winning like a trophy, I'd say.
यार लेकिन you have to be realistic too, right? टीम की हालत देखो. Look at the team.
I
मतलब
am
क्या
being
मतलब? You're
I that's what I mean. Like
नहीं
at
और
least
बुरा मैं
try.
और नहीं. But you also don't know what he's gonna do, right? That's all I'm saying. Like,
Hindsight is
भाई
2020.
pick
You don't
क्यों
know
किया
what
है?
he
Why
can
did
and
you
cannot
take him
do
to the
either.
squad? Why is he in the squad then? If he's भाई देखो कौन सा experience Ramiz? What is he gonna get out of that? No.
Yeah,
Okay, I
no, he's
guess
right.
I don't know.
Yo, Nets is a big deal, man. Being around the team, that's a big deal. Like I agree with my buddy here, Ramiz. I agree.
So you're telling me with a straight face
Listen,
that
I will
playing
change my
Samoyud
opinion
in
after
one
the first
game.
test. I will change my opinion after the first test.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I
And
will.
as you guys were saying, I did, it does make sense that maybe not for the first game. I'll give
See,
you
it
that.
took
I
you
think
40
maybe
minutes to
not for the
change your
first game.
opinion. I'm
No,
proud
no.
of
I
you.
mean, I still would do that. I still would play him in the first game, but I would understand if you don't want to do that. Like I don't
Bro,
think you're
he's gonna
as wrong
okay,
anymore.
let's change the narrative. I want you to change the narrative just a little bit. Now, instead of
On
thinking
what?
about it as in he's an opener in Australia, now think of it as in Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood, and Mitchell Stark are coming at you, and I'm sure they're gonna have a fourth fast bowler, let's say Scott Boland or somebody else, are coming at you like
Hmm.
coming after you on a Perth surface. Think of it that way, and you're like, do you want to put Simon Ayub in or not? I mean, Imam Ola is
Okay,
going to get
how do
destroyed.
any athletes at any craft get better by playing the best at their best, right? You're saying
You're saying
QEA
Simon
is
Ayub is at
shit
his
because
best?
no, I'm at Australia's best. You play the players
Yeah,
who are the best at their craft,
but
and you get better. You
what's
get
the point
wrecked,
of playing?
but you get better.
What's the point of playing these guys for 5 balls? Are you going to get better off that?
No, that's a learning curve. You
No,
you learn
no.
from that, right?
Yeah, but we could
You're
keep arguing about this.
huh? I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just saying that I'm just saying that, and this is what worries me, right? You take a guy like that, either to me, sitting him, um, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Sitting him is not to me that's not good because I think he could be playing domestic instead. I think that's more valuable to me. That's more valuable than getting net practice in Australia. Um, and the other side of it is if you take him and he sits, his confidence could be affected by that. And the other thing is if he plays and he fails, his confidence could be worse by that. So you have to manage the situation in a way. I don't think there is like a
Something that
perfect scenario
Pakistani
here.
players have never
This
had.
all could have been avoided if you don't pick him. I would have been 100%
100%.
for that.
But I think
If you
something
don't
that
have if you don't have to play him, don't pick him. What is the point, right? Put somebody else in there who's a little bit more experienced. We talk about like people from domestic. I don't know how many of these are openers, but Imran Butt has been somebody who's played Test cricket before. If you have no intention of playing Saim Ayub, send him there. He's played Test matches before. Why not? Yeah, I can see
I
that.
agree. Not even. I agreed. You shouldn't have even taken him. You're right. Imran Butt might have been a better choice. I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're spending too much time on this. I don't think we're
This
gonna
is the
sway each
main,
other's
but this is
opinion
the
on this.
bulk of the squad that
But the
needs to
only
have a
reason I
chat
say this is
about.
because Saim Ayub to me is a little bit more sensitive than other players because this guy is the hype is real high, right? And you have to be very careful how you manage a player like that. Ramiz, you're absolutely right, in terms of confidence and things like that. And that's why I'm saying it's important to manage this properly. If you're gonna,
Also,
that's why I think if you take him, you have to play him. Anyway,
Pakistani
we can
players
move
don't
on
have
now.
good like agents, man, sports agents and whatnot. I think Bobber is like the best example, and same with Rizwan. Like those two, they are the best examples of like having somebody that's like a good voice in their ear. Um, I think Naseem Shah, he if he can have a good voice in his ear, he will be leading Pakistan cricket in the next like 5 or so years. Like that's my view. But I just don't want to ruin Simon Ayub like
Yeah,
discredibly like the rest of them.
yeah, you're
I
right,
just don't want to
man.
ruin him.
I,
Naseem
yeah,
Shah,
I was,
he could have been, he could have been another Junaid Khan if this was a different sort of injury. Because again, you don't know on where in the body can you get an injury. But thank God it wasn't like, I mean, shoulder's still a big deal, but I'm hoping he comes back stronger. But they need to find good circles for themselves, man.
yeah. Yeah, Naseem, I was really looking forward to seeing
Naseem
Naseem
and
Shah in this
this would be a
tour
completely
earlier in the
different
year. I
feeling
was
if
so
Naseem
excited.
Shah was there.
Yeah, yeah, he would have been great to see in Australia test matches, but we have Khurram Shahzad, so we're doing okay there. All right. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about? I don't have any like this episode. I just wanted to talk about the squad. I had no other notes for
Yeah,
this.
no, that's
So,
good.
anything else you guys want to bring up? India or anything like that? Australia, that T20 series,
Pakistan postponed their Netherlands three-match T20 series, which kind of sucks.
which are in Netherlands. Yeah,
No, man, they
they were
deserve like
playing. I saw a tweet that that was the only full member team they were playing throughout the year, and that's been postponed now. So
that
that's
sucks,
we talked
man.
about India and like ICC and like not giving these guys enough exposure.
That's so shitty.
Just
Even
like
if you send
Simon,
a second
just like Simon
11
Ayub.
or send like a, half a good squad, at least like, they
Yeah,
get some
man,
sort of
just play
exposure, right?
them,
Like
just
it
play them.
sucks. So I was really
Yeah,
disappointed in seeing that because I think I don't care. People talk about Pakistan plays Zimbabwe and this and that. Yo, they're still a world beating team. Playing those guys doesn't decrease their value. So I was really disappointed in seeing that. And they're gonna be going to Ireland too. So it's like, why couldn't you just squeeze this in? You could have done it. So just upsetting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, it would have been nice, but it is what it is. Anything else? I think we can wrap it up, man.
Yeah,
I think Ramiz has to skedaddle, and I think we should all skedaddle. Um, but yeah, looking forward to that tour. The prime minister 11 game versus Pakistan tour match is going to be, I think it's December 6th to the 9th, 4-day match, right? Cameron Bancroft is playing that game, and if they're going to televise it, I'm going to keep an eye on him because he might have some sandpaper in his pocket. Um, so I'm gonna I'm gonna keep an eye on that. But yeah, thanks for joining us. That was a good long discussion about Saim Ayub and the squad going to Australia. We'll see how these guys do. All our support and good wishes are to these guys. I hope this is a daunting tour, but hopefully they can at least make some progress here. So thanks again for listening. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at shot_yar. Follow us on TikTok at shotyar, YouTube at shotyar, and visit us at shotyar.com. Thanks for listening.